Hello, I'm Waterstones Children's Laureate Joseph Coelho, and I love poetry, and I think you can love poetry too. If I ever get stuck for an idea of what to write about, I have a think about how I would like to perform the poem, and that can help me come up with an idea. One performance technique that I like to use is called Diminuendo. It's when you start a poem with a loud voice and then get quieter and quieter. That simple technique can help you think of some great ideas. What do you think would make a good subject for a poem that starts loud and then gets quieter and quieter? Maybe a poem about a baby crying and then being soothed by a lullaby and falling asleep. Or a poem about a factory in the middle of the day with all its clunking machines, and then bit by bit the machines get turned off as everyone goes home for the night until all is silent. Or maybe it's a poem about a zoo and all the animals making lots of different noises as people visit to look at them, and then one by one the animals fall asleep. Turn to the person next to you and share some ideas you might have for a poem that starts off loud and then gets quieter and quieter and quieter. You can pause the video and come back when you are ready to keep going. Now that you've had a chance to think of some ideas, all you need to do is write the poem. I've got one here I wrote earlier, all about a ride from the city to the countryside. To the countryside, the beeping of the traffic, beep, 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 roars in our ears. The belching of the factories, clunk, 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 shudders in our ears. The huffing of the people, huff, 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 mumbles in our ears as we leave the roaring, shuddering, mumbling city behind us. The whiz of the motorway cars, meow, 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 hums in our ears. The whoosh of crops in the field, swish, 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 plays in our ears. The pebble roll of the sea on the shore hushes in our ears as we play the hum of hushes, of noise no more, noise no more, noise no more, in the countryside. Now it's your turn. Take one of your ideas and see what poem you can create. In my poem, I simply described a journey from the city to the countryside, focusing in on how the sounds were changing from the loud clunking of the factories to the gentle, quiet swishing of the crops in the fields. That's the Poetry Power Up sound, which means it's time for an extra challenge for your poem. You have dreamt up a poem that starts loud and gets quieter and quieter, but can you do the opposite and create a crescendo poem? A poem that starts quiet and gets louder and louder and louder. What would be a good subject for such a poem? Maybe a baby dropping its dummy and wailing, or a rocket taking off into space, or a footballer in a quiet stadium scoring a goal and the crowd going wild. Think of some ideas first and then get writing. Good luck.